Welcome to Dynasty Trading Room. Today I'm going to give you 4 rookies to buy before they break out. First on our list is Ashton Jeanty. Probably the first overall pick in your rookie draft last year, and after 3 games, I won't be surprised if a lot of managers are panic selling. The profile for Jeanty, there was talk about generational prospect, he was in the Heisman discussion as a running back, but there was always that underlying factor of he's not playing at a Power 4 school. So there was some uncertainty coming into this season with Jeanty, and now people are starting to have those suspicions confirmed. I don't think that's what's going on here. I don't think Jeanty is a bad running back. So what we've seen is his yards before contact has been -2 on the season. That's second worst in the NFL. Like he's had more yards after contact than he's had before getting hit. He's getting hit behind the line of scrimmage constantly. Now, they've played some really good run defenses. The Patriots have allowed the second fewest rushing yards in the league so far. The Chargers have really come together as a defense this season. And then this last week, he faced the Commanders, who have allowed the 9th fewest yards per attempt and have made it a big focus of their defense to stop the running game. Now, we've seen good things from Jeanty. We've seen among the 25 running backs with 30 plus carries, so the workhorse running backs in the NFL, he ranks 4th in missed tackle rate. So he's getting guys to miss, he's getting into these second levels when he does, but he just can't do it reliably enough because he's getting hit in the backfield constantly. Now, if you are contending this year, Jeanty might not be a great starter for you. He's probably going to continue to struggle with offensive line issues, but he's got the volume to at least provide flex appeal. Now, for the future, though, this is going to be a top focus for the Raiders, is improving this offensive line. And if they can just get to an average unit, then Jeanty could make his way into what we thought he could be, a top 12 running back. Next up on my list is Bhayshul Tuten, the running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, when Tank Bigsby got traded to the Cowboys, everyone thought, oh, this is Etienne. They're really high on him. They really believe in him, and that's why they traded away Bigsby. I don't think so. I think it's because Bhayshul Tuten they were so confident about him being a great running back for them that they were confident with him as their number 2 and possibly even number 1 running back. Through 3 weeks, yes, Etienne is the starter. He hasn't looked horrible. He's had some okay carries, he's taking what's blocked for him, but he just hasn't looked very explosive. He's not wowing anyone on the tape. That's not the case for Tuten. Tuten has looked incredible. Every time he carries the ball, there's something you can see he's about to break off a big run. He hasn't necessarily had that huge explosive run yet on his lower volume, but once it comes, then his value is going to skyrocket, and I can really see him taking over this backfield over the second half of the year. Every time he touches the ball, even if he's hitting the backfield, he's turning that into positive yards. He's just a strong downhill runner, the way that Etienne has never been. Another factor that makes me really excited about Tuten is that in this past week, they had 1 carry inside the 5-yard line, and that went to Tuten, not to Etienne, and Tuten scored on that play. I think week by week, we're going to see this backfield slowly get further and further to an even timeshare, and Tuten is the back to have if you're getting 50-50 carries between these two guys, because he's the one that's really going to break off those big runs. Third on my list is Jacory Croskey-Merritt, Bill Croskey, out of Washington. Now, I'm so excited to finally be able to talk about Bill Croskey as a buy again. JCM has looked incredible, but there was this huge hype over him during the preseason, and it really turned him into a guy to just maybe hold on to or even sell because of how high of a price he was going for. Now, a few weeks into the season, and 1 week after an Eckler injury, he hasn't taken over that top spot as the very clear workhorse back. And I think that's going to scare a lot of people off. I think by now people thought he was going to be getting 10, 15 rushing attempts continuously every single game. That hasn't happened yet. But if you watch the tape, he is by far the best running back on this team. He is the most explosive running back, one of the most explosive running backs in the entire NFL. So far, PFF has him graded as the top running back, the top rushing grade in all of the NFL. So now that the hype is starting to calm and you might be able to get him for a reasonable price, I'm going out and trying to buy JCM in all of my leagues right now. This isn't just a play for this year either. I know he only has that 7th round capital, But the Commanders don't really have a whole lot of draft capital moving on into next year. They've traded away quite a few picks. So it's not like they can just go out and draft another running back next year. They already have a few holes that they need to fill on the roster. They have one of the oldest, I think the oldest roster in the entire NFL. So running back will not be their highest priority position in the draft next year. So JCM is in a great position to hold on to that role into the future. Okay, that's enough running backs. Now, my last player to buy is Travis Hunter. It's not entirely surprising that he's had a slow start. This is a guy that's playing on both sides of the ball. He's splitting his practice time between offense and defense. There's going to be probably a longer ramp-up period than you get with these other elite wide receiver prospects. So yes, it may not be this week, it may not be next week that he has his big breakout, but when it comes, you're not getting him at a value anymore. And when is a better time for his breakout to come than when they need him the absolute most? The wide receivers for Jacksonville have looked atrocious. Brian Thomas Jr. has the highest percentage of his targets dropped in the entire NFL. Trevor Lawrence has seen the highest rate of passes dropped of any quarterback in the NFL. The team just can't hold on to the ball. Now we have Dyami Brown that went down with injury as well, and he could miss an extended period of time. Hunter is a reliable pass catcher. He has some of the best hands. He had some of the best hands in this past draft, some of the best hands in the NFL, I think. He is reliable when they throw him the ball, and I think this is the time that they're going to start game planning more and more looks for him as he becomes more comfortable in this offense, and when the rest of the offense around him really struggles. Those are my 4 rookies to go by right now before they have their breakouts. We know this is a great time in Dynasty to buy these rookies. Now, the expectations from the draft, from preseason, the unknown, what could happen, they're not there anymore. Not everyone has that Egbuka kind of start. And now is the time to go buy on the talent, knowing that so many rookies have that second half surge. And if you can get ahead of that big breakout and buy them for less than they were going for around draft season, then that is how you accumulate great value on your team in Dynasty. If you like this content, go ahead and subscribe. We're going to keep bringing you content throughout the season for the NFL, along with 2026 draft content before any other channel. Thanks for tuning in.